All right, time for the bottom line, a wrap of the business news of the day. Now, thousands of members of Cosatu and other trade union federations are marching countrywide in violation of lockdown regulations, which limit the gathering of people outdoors to no more than 500. They were joined by members of the other federations, SAFTU, FEDUSA, NACTU, for a one-day national strike against corruption, retrenchments and gender-based violence. To discuss, we're joined by SABC reporter Mbongeni Muthwa. Great to have you with us, Mbongeni. So you were in Johannesburg. What did you see?
Well, what we saw was contrary to what Cosatu had said on Monday when they held a special media briefing to talk about today's events, where they said that because we have a pandemic now, so it's not going to be the normal tradition of marches and so on. People should stay at home. In fact, they said
it'll be under 500, definitely. Little gatherings.
They said people should stay at home. There would be no marches. There would be a motorcade. In fact, specifically, the plan, the written down plan for Johannesburg was that there was going to be a motorcade of up to about 60 cars. But all that went out the window. We don't know when this happened, because what happened was people were passed in as usual. Buses came in carrying protesters. People came in taxis, and then of course people came in their cars, and you ended up, of course, having thousands. By the end of the day, the number of people on the streets protesting was literally thousands.
Yeah. And has Cosatu responded? We also heard from FEDUSA, from Zwelinzi Mavavi, saying this will be done in a very safe way because of the conditions.
Yeah, so no one has said anything about the over-attendance, if you will, so far. Of course, we should try and reach out to them even tomorrow, just to go over exactly what happened today, because in terms of fighting the pandemic and limiting the spread of infections, what happened today it was not a good sign.
Yeah. Also, I mean, essential workers shouldn't be taking to the streets, I understand, but nurses were there. Do we have an idea of nurses, teachers, their sort of attendance?
All the unions, public sector unions under Cosatu, of course, FEDUSA and others, were represented. Who exactly was there, whether it was people that were supposed to be maybe on duty or not, we don't know. But obviously, when it comes to essential services, nurses and so on, only people who would not be on duty, people who are off work or on leave, would be able to attend a gathering like today.
Did the message come through very strongly today? I mean, there's several issues. The one is the wage hike that hasn't been implemented, but this was also about corruption, unemployment, and several other issues.
Absolutely. All the issues that these four federations agree on, which were the main issues of today, were ventilated in demonstrations all around the country. We're talking about corruption, talking about retrenchments, talking about, of course, the big issue of the public sector wage standoff that is happening. So if this was normal times, then today's strike would have been definitely declared a big success in terms of turnout, in terms of issues. But
like you say, now
these are not normal times.
Issue.
We've seen this overseas, in the US and in Europe, when people have thrown caution to the wind and behaved as if there is no pandemic, just to enjoy the moment, to be outdoors, to be in large crowds again after all the lockdowns, to hit the beaches and so on. And so. As we speak, they are now dealing with a massive second wave of infections. They have to shut down the economy again, and no one wants that because of the pressure on the economy. So there's no doubt, after what happened in this country today, there's definitely going to be repercussions in terms of pandemic arising directly out of this.
All right, and government responded, but no movement on the wage hike or anything like that. We'll keep following. Thank you very much for that update, SABC reporter Mbongeni Muthwa.